How's it going, everyone? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh K, the Lonely Hermit, and today, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time. We are going over the championship match for the Elite Battle League Season 4. It was a bit of a doozy. It did go all the way to timer. The two competitors ended with the same amount of Pokemon. However, Florida are 3-time champs as they walked away with a win on HP. We'll go more in depth on it in just a second here, but before we get into all that, you guys should definitely check out all the coaches down below. Go subscribe to all of their channels so you not miss any of their content and all that good stuff. The season's over, but it will be returning, and most of the people that are down below will be in next season. But regardless, you should still subscribe to them and show some love to everyone in the Elite Battle League. And speaking of which, subscribe to the Elite Battle League channel if you want to see more content. This is the final video, I think, on the channel for quite a while, or what's going to be on the channel for a while. I'm not really sure if there's any plans for anything else, but for now, this is going to be the last video until next season, unless the plans change. So you should still subscribe so you can actually go back and maybe watch the season 4 back, because it was a doozy. It was a wild season. And also check out the Elite Battle League Twitter down below, and follow, subscribe where it says sir. It's all greatly appreciated. With all that being said, let's get right into this. So, as aforementioned, the Florida Alligators are your Season 4 champions. They walked away with a win over the Essex Espions, which I think might be the lowest seed to have ever won the championship. Could be wrong, but they were number 5 seed coming out of their conference, and they managed to pull off a win. Obviously, it's Lionheart, so even if he's the number 6 seed and he's dead last, you still can't count him out. You just can't. His season started and ended with timer in the way that he likely would have won regardless. There was no timer. I honestly do think Lugia was primed to finish the match, especially considering it just got off a max airstream at the end, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I personally have a bit of background knowledge when it comes to this match, because I did help Lionheart plays throughout the entire week to prep for this match. We went over a bunch of things. I'm not gonna lie, a big talking point from me for this match is the lack of Eldegoss. Paige decided to bring the Lapras. We pretty much called the rest of his team. The Lapras was the only one that we did not expect. We didn't even prep for it. I didn't put on any of my practice teams. I put Zoroark and Crobat were kind of in and out, but for the most part, the Zoroark and Eldegoss were switching. The other 5 that Pitch brought were exactly the same, because eventually I found that was just the best team that was working against Florida. Eldegoss just brings an insane amount of speed control against Florida with its ability Cotton Down. So I know you watch these videos, Pitch, so you can let me know down below what was your thought process behind not bringing Eldegoss. Throughout practice battles, I realized Eldegoss was just amazing against Lionheart's team. It's like I said, Cotton Down was huge, a huge speed check, because he's got a pretty fast team. So to be able to slow this Pokemon down and be able to deal with Rodriguez as well was also a positive. I also found that it was actually a decent lead. It just didn't really like Lugia. It also didn't really like Weezing. Other than that, it was game, you know, with the other Pokemon that were coming out. But yeah, Cotton Down was just a big check. Not to mention Eldegoss can take a couple hits before it goes down. So to me, I think Eldegoss would have been the better pick over Lapras. I think that automatically gave Florida an advantage. Again, Pidge, I know you watch these videos. Let me know down below. I'm not really criticizing why he brought Lapras. I don't think Lapras is a fantastic Pokemon, so it's not a terrible idea to bring a Lapras, especially considering it's just an incredible wall. I just personally believe Eldegoss was the better option of the two. But again, Pidge, let me know down below what was your thought process. Maybe I gotta rewatch the video to see. Maybe I gotta rewatch it. Maybe you did explain, but I normally don't remember the your guys' pre-match talk. I normally get straight to the match, so if you did say something there, I more than likely missed it. But let me know down below what was the thought process behind Lapras. I think Rodriguez was a big thing we found in the practice battles. Rodriguez was just a fantastic lead. Get off the rocks, because we found that also rocks just did a lot against Pidge's team. The rocks were crucial to making sure certain Pokemon were going to die because they had enough damage done on them. And on top of that, Haze, if a Pokemon wants to try and start setting up, you know, he had options with the Runrigus, and I think ultimately it was just the best lead. Also Rock Tomb for speed checks. So it was just a fantastic lead from what we found. Even when I would bring Eldegoss first, it still did enough to make sure that the rest of the team would be able to succeed, even if it went down, which ultimately it did. It was the first death in the match, but the Stealth Rocks came in clutch. I will say, great predictions out of Lionheart. I mean, I'll tell you guys this much: the way this battle went, almost to the T, went exactly how quite a few of our practice battles went. I won't lie, if I had to give him a win percentage against me in the practice battles, I'd probably put it somewhere around 60 to 70%. I did find quite a few wins, and that's where he was able to make adjustments. Not trying to toot my own horn or anything with how I helped him, but I think those practice battles definitely played a huge part, because like I said, having that background knowledge and seeing the practice battles firsthand, being a part of those practice battles, I can tell you this match went like so many of our practice battles to the T. And Florida, obviously, Lionheart had that in his head, so I think that's why his predictions were more on point. He was a lot sharper in this match than maybe we've seen all season. He just really stepped up when it mattered most. This wasn't even gonna be a match where he's gonna have to rely on Zacian at the end. It was gonna be a match that he was gonna win, regardless. And by the way, Zacian, your playoff MVP. So we have our 2 logo Pokemon for next season, Dragonite and Zacian. Can't wait to work on that one. But yeah. There wasn't that reliance on Zacian at the end of the match. It did get 3 kills. It was the MVP of the finals, and again the playoff MVP overall. But it still wasn't necessary to fully, you know, close out the match and clutch up again after having to clutch up like twice in the playoffs. So it definitely this match just proved Lionheart is, quite frankly, the best battler the Elite Battle League has seen. Not even just trophy wise, you know, take away the championships, he's still proven time and time again that he's just an amazing battler. It doesn't matter what team you give him. We joke about it, but at this point, honestly, I think there's just a lot of truth to that. You can give him a team of Caterpies, he'll find a way to win. It does not matter. This guy is a fantastic battler. But yeah, his predictions were on point throughout the match. Galarian Weezing proved to be a huge call. That was kind of a last minute decision. I'll tell you guys that much. The other 5 were pretty much locked, but the 6 Pokemon was where we were struggling to figure out who fit the best. Ninetales did okay. Grimmsnarl didn't do too hot. I'm trying to remember the other Pokemon. Togekiss did not do well at all in our practice battles. I think he lost every battle he had with Togekiss, and I think he won 1, but it was super close. But Togekiss was basically out of the question. Alolan Ninetales actually proved to be a pretty good Pokemon for Pidge's team, but then he busted out the Weezing, and that's when it became more difficult, because I couldn't quite figure out ways to deal with it efficiently without, you know, taking a lot of damage myself. Not to mention it hurts the double as well, because of the I think the ability is called Fluffy or something like that. Basically makes it weak to fire. So it just checked the double, which was a massive problem in our practice battles for Florida. For Lionheart, that double was rough. It won me quite a few practice battles. That double was like key for me, and it was key for him to have to take it out, which ultimately it didn't even die this match, but it just didn't prove to be, you know, as much of a threat as maybe we both expected. Also, Pidge did bring a different moveset than we had. He had his Last Resort Thunderwave moveset. I had a proper setup slash baton pass sets. I had a couple different sets where I didn't bring Last Resort because I didn't really see the use, especially considering I mean, I know Pidge, you revealed your card in the semifinal, but it still was a massive, I will tell you that much, it was a massive problem in my practice battles. And even though he knew the baton pass was coming, it still proved to be a massive problem. Like I said, it won me quite a few practice battles on its own, or baton passing into something else. It was an amazing Pokemon. The fact that it didn't die, but Florida still won, was big, because the key that we found is that he just needs to get rid of that double, or just make it a non-factor, which ultimately in this match, double was a non-factor. It didn't do any work. It literally came in at the end to take that hit against the Lugia. It lived, to be fair, which I was a little surprised by. But regardless, it was just a non-factor in this match, which was exactly the key that we found for Florida to beat Essex. I think Pidge, honestly, in my opinion, you guys might disagree, when that Lapras went down, and which is crazy to say, when that Lapras went down, the match was Florida's. From that point on, the momentum was on their side. They, like I said, their predictions were on point. Just everything about the match, the control, the momentum went to Florida when that Lapras went down, which is crazy because it was the second kill of the game, the second death for Essex. But honestly, from that point on, Florida just controlled the match. They had momentum. They were controlling the switches, which was most important. They were just, you know, every time Pidge would switch, Florida would make a better switch. They were controlling every part of this match, down to the T. Like at the end with the Lugia coming in, doing big damage against the Mew, and then turning around and, you know, nearly killing the double as well, doing enough damage on both the Pidge's remaining Pokemon so that Florida would win on HP when it went to timer. But again, I think regardless, the Lugia was going to be faster in both those Pokemon, and it was going to take them both out. But it still, like, every play out of Lionheart after that Lapras went down was just perfect. He made all the right calls, he made all the right decisions, and it just, the momentum never shifted back in Essex's favor, in my opinion. I really didn't see any control from them from that point on. I think Florida just took over that match, and ultimately, obviously, we're able to walk away with the win. I think doing damage on the, I think honestly one of the bigger plays too was Barraskewda living on 1 HP to turn around. I think it was 1 HP. It was very, very low HP. I mean, I'm talking single digits, less than 5. I think it was 1. I think there's a reason I wrote 1 HP on my paper, so maybe I should trust my notes. But the Barraskewda living on 1 and then turning around and being able to do big damage on Eternatus, again, also kept control of the match. Because Eternatus having a little more health maybe would have been a bigger problem, but Barraskewda turned around, lived, and then turned around, hit it with the Psychic Fangs. Didn't kill, which was a little surprising, not too surprising. But a little surprising it didn't kill. That makes sense. But regardless, he was able to set up the Eternatus to eventually go down. I believe it was to Zacian. That's right. Yep, because Zacian killed Lapras, Eternatus, and Crobat. And those kills were actually quite spread out throughout the match. So I think Zacian definitely helped with the control in the match. But ultimately, we found that although Zacian was a big problem for Essex, Lugia was proving to just be a nuisance. It was just a wall. It was very annoying to go against in those practice battles. I'll tell you from my point of view, being the one going against Lugia, it was very annoying. So one of the things I told Lionheart was pretty much you got to keep that thing in the back and just hold on to it and make sure that it can be really annoying, especially towards the end of the match. So I think that was big, keeping Lugia alive until the very end. Obviously, it proved to be the winning Pokemon. But yeah, Lionheart said that he thinks he played offensive and cautious, whereas Pidge played defensive and cautious. And I agree on Pidge's side. I think this is, I wanted to see Pidge just go for it because the way he's been playing in the playoffs, obviously having back-to-back massive wins, Mew racking up just a ton of kills. Even again, back to week 4 as well. His 3-game winning streak has just been so dominant. So I expected him to come into this match and just kind of throw caution to the wind and say, screw it. I know it's the final, but, you know, go back to last season's final where the two of them were just so scared to do anything and played so incredibly cautious. I thought this season would be different, and he would come and try, you know, something explosive and try to just really get at, you know, Florida and try to impose themselves on the match, which, to be fair, leading Eternatus was, you know, kind of accomplished that. But I expected a lot more offensive plays out of Essex. Again, the set on double, I think was a little disappointing to see, and bringing Lapras as a wall, that didn't really give him any momentum, because the only reason I saw Lapras coming was because of the its G-Max move, which sets up the Aurora Veil. Only reason why I saw it coming, really. I thought Eldegoss gave him more momentum on the switches and would have allowed him to set up more offensively, but he played defensive. And Lionheart really didn't. He said he played cautious. I didn't really see it. I think he played offensive. He was the aggressor in the match. Like I said, he had control, he had momentum, he was the aggressor. And the only time I really saw him playing cautious was when Pidge started to kind of go offensive, or started to make a lot of switches. I think that's when he played a little more cautious, because he was trying to wait for his moment to be able to strike. But I think he was definitely he definitely was the aggressor in this match. That being said, though, Essex still walked away with 4 kills. So, you know, not the end of the not that he didn't play offensive at all. I just think he could have taken it to the next level, and played a little bit more offensive, and maybe not have been the aggressor still in the match, but at least, you know, went pound for pound with the champ. But ultimately he played a little more defensive, and I think that came back to bite him again. The double set not bringing Eldegoss. The Destiny bonding Mimikyu was cool, but again, that's still a defensive maneuver. There's just a lot of defensive maneuvers out of Essex. I kind of didn't like to see that. I didn't really want to see that. I wanted to see them, you know, be offensive and just go at each other. This is our second season in a row where the championship ends on timer, but this one was better. It would have been decided without timer. The last one would have gone on for like 30 more minutes if it wasn't for timer. But yeah, so that is this match. I mean, I can't say I'm disappointed. I think it was a very solid match. It was down to the wire. They did go at each other, and I think it was an entertaining battle. I know I'm criticizing Essex. It's just because I wanted to see a more explosive battle out of both teams, which we got an explosive battle out of Florida. Not so much out of Essex, which says a lot that they still managed to get 4 kills. But I think this match would have been, could have been much more of a spectacle had a couple of changes been made on the side of Essex. So I'm very curious, Paige. Let me know down below your reasoning for your decisions. I'm very curious. I'm not really criticizing them, like I said. I wanted to see more of an offensive nature. I thought, you know, the way you turned around your season when you beat Matt and started to go play way more offensive, I thought, you know, that was shaping up for just an explosive final. And ultimately it was, but it wasn't. It was a good battle, don't get me wrong. But I think it could have been even better. So let me know down below what you guys thought of the match. Let me know your thoughts on the championship. Do you think Lionheart deserved to win the championship? I personally think he did. Did you see this coming? I think a lot of us saw Essex in the finals again, or Indiana, but I don't think many people were saying Florida were going to end up back in the finals. But hey, it's Lionheart. He's the 3-time champ. You can't count him out. Also, I want you guys to let me know down below if you have seen all 4 championship matches for the Elite Battle League for every single season. Let me know your guys' personal rankings. So I'm going to tell you guys mine right now. My personal rankings, I have season 2 at number 1 still. It is personally my favorite one. That last second comeback from Zacian that we've now seen time and time again, but that was the first time we saw Zacian come from the death, turn around and win the championship for Florida, or at the time Miami. So I still think season 2 is the best. I'm actually gonna put season 4 at my number 2 slot. I think that season 4, like I said, I'm criticizing it because I think it could have been taken to the next level, but I still think it was a fantastic battle. I think it was a great battle between 2 great battlers. So I think it was still a great battle regardless. My third is season 1 because it was a blowout, but it was still more entertaining than season 3, which is, I think it's gonna be very hard to replace that at the bottom of my list. I love you, Pidge. I do. But that match was not great, so it's gonna take a lot for me to have to replace something else below that. But let me know your guys' rankings. If you have seen all the championship matches, let me know your rankings down below for all of them. Like I said, mine's 2, 4, 1, 3. Let me know your guys' rankings down below. And yeah, just let me know your general thoughts on the match, what you guys thought of not only this match, this season. What did you guys think of this season as well? Was it entertaining? Was it disappointing? Did your favorite team get knocked out early? Let me know down below your thoughts on the season. And while you're down there, check out all the channels in the description for all the coaches that participated this season. Go subscribe to them so you do not miss any of their content. And also, speaking of subscribing, subscribe to the Elite Battle League channel. Like I said, we're gonna be coming back into full swing when the new season rocks around. In the meantime, hopefully you guys will have enjoyed Scarlet and Violet, because that's gonna be happening in the off season. I hope you guys enjoy your time with the off season. Holidays coming around. Hope you enjoy all that good stuff with family, friends, and all that. Like I said, I don't know if there's any plans for us to do any off-season content, so this is probably the last time I'm going to see you. I am going to be back next season. I will say that. I am going to be back for season 5. but I'm not gonna be able to see you, I think, until season 5. So I want to get all that out the way. Thank you guys so much for watching every weekly roundup. It's all greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching all the content on the channel in general, and thank you for supporting the Elite Battle League season 4. Hopefully you guys will continue that support next season. It's all greatly appreciated. Again, subscribe to the Elite Battle League channel, go follow the Twitter, and check out all the coaches down below. Go subscribe to all of their channels as well. And of course, be sure to shout out to their friends, family, everyone. You know, let the people know the Elite Battle League's where it's at. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.